Sabaha everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a feature that's built into the Samsung One UI 2.0 or 2.1 and that you probably don't even know it actually exists on your device. It's called Kids Home. It's a great way to be able to hand your device to your young ones, to your kids, without having to worry about them going in through your things, deleting or uninstalling or even installing applications you did not give them permission to do. It's called Kids Home. It's actually a separate launcher that has some unique features to help parents manage their kids' playtime activity on their brand new devices. This is TK. Let's go ahead and check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. So what we have in front of us is the brand new Galaxy S20 Ultra, and this feature has been available actually for some time, but it has been updated with the brand new One UI 2.1 with the Galaxy S20 line of devices. Now, to make sure to see if you actually have this feature or if you don't have it, only thing you have to do is bring down the notification shade and then swipe to the right if you don't see it in the main screen, and it'll actually say Kids Home. What I'm talking about today is actually something like a third launcher that's built into Samsung devices that enable us to basically provide our kids a UI that is very specifically made for them. We'll go ahead and launch it. Now you can set up multiple profiles. There's the default one. If you don't have multiple profiles, it automatically jumps in. Otherwise, you select the child that you want to go into, and of course you have access to the home screen, which you can customize to your preferences, obviously, and as well as some inputs from the young ones. So before we go in too far, there's a couple things you need to know. If you just hit the button as I showed you guys a second ago, it takes you straight into the launcher. But if I press and hold it, it takes me into the settings for this launcher, meaning the settings for the the kids mode section or the kids home. By default, you have access to the profiles that you have, and you can add additional kids, and you can customize the profile basically to say the name of the child and even a small picture, as you can see here with my son. You're also able to have the ability of customizing the set the daily time limit, meaning if they're in this actual UI or the launcher, how long do they have actually to be able to play games. You can also see basically more like report cards, activities, what applications were run. And as I was installing everything, getting into everything set up, I did launch these activities, and as you can see, they show up here. Frequently contacted, if you do allow them to make phone calls, and that's one of the new features that we have with One UI 2.1, they can actually make pre-designated calls only to specific numbers that you designate for them. So I'll show you that with you guys as well. Omar's creation, there is some applications there, and you can actually check them out so you can create your own artistic forms and so on. The next thing we have here is the allowed content. So we can categorize them by apps, context, media, and music. And of course, a Galaxy Store for kids. So first and foremost, you can go in there and customize what applications show up in the kids home. So first and foremost, you'll notice there's a few certain things present there, but you're also able to add your own. So I have Need for Speed Most Wanted and Thumper, as well as Monument Valley, because my son likes to play these games, and I want to have them access that directly in the actual kids home environment. And of course, you can add additional ones by going here, and then of course adding anything that you like. Now under contacts, we pretty much have the same exact experience. You can add as many contacts as you want, and in one number at a time. So it's not going to add a contact with all the numbers under it. It's just basically one number at a time, and if you want to delete them, you can remove them there. Same thing for media. You can go in there and customize what you want. You can go in and open up the gallery application, select what you want, and of course add it in, and then your kids will be able to see their own content. If they create content within their own profile, it automatically gets added into their media/music section. You don't have to manually add that. Last but not least is you can also add music that you have already on your device. This is not going to support content that is streaming. You can also, of course, add and then go through, and whenever you're done, just go ahead and add it directly into the actual launcher. Last but not least, there is a built-in Galaxy Store app, basically a filtered version of the standard Galaxy Store that we have on our smartphone that gives us access specifically to games and things that are meant for the kids mode. So there's the top paid, top free, and then of course new, and you can download them directly into the profile that you're in. So as you notice, I was already in my son's profile, and if I find something, let's say a game that he probably will like, let's say a racing car kits here, I'll go in here, select it, it's a 9.1 megabyte, I'll go ahead and hit download, and it's going to add it automatically once it's done downloading. And that's pretty much it as far as the customization. You do have the ability of disabling show pages showing Samsung partners content. So if you don't want to show partners content directly in there, you can disable it. And of course, you can go in from here and say turn on Kids Home, opens it up, and then select your profile, and you're right there again. Anytime you add new applications to your home screen or to the profile of your child, it automatically adds a little gift box that you can actually select and see the surprise. So I'll go ahead and click it. Here's Lego Life. And those are the additional ones that I added in there. I'll click it there. Lego TV, Lego City, Mastering Math, of course, since we want to do that. Monument Valley, NFC, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, and Thumper. There is a dialer in here, as I showed you guys before, shows the content here as well as the caller. And what you can do essentially is click the actual name and then hit the dialer. That's basically what it is. It doesn't dial automatically. You do need to do that. And if you do want to add additional context, it will actually ask you for your personal, or basically the managing account. There's a few applications, so the gallery will show us the applications or the different content that you have. You can go in there and then you can jump directly into the camera application, which is the one that we saw at the bottom. It only has the ability of taking pictures and videos with some caricatures. So let's go ahead and do this. And you can actually turn on the different effects. So you can do like face effects or googly eyes. And then once you take the picture, of course, it adds it in there. It adds the different effects. So it's kind of nice. The sound effects are obviously all built in, and you can customize the different effects here in the camera. But once you're here, as I mentioned to you guys, automatically adds it into their media and you can see it from there. There's a nice little game here. It's called Croc's Friends Village that has different activities based on the levels that you want to play. And of course, you can change the construction of the actual setup so that you can see which level comes in. Boogie's here, this is basically the art. You can bring it in and then you can start drawing. And of course, once you're done, you can go home and then save it. It'll go in directly into your art section. Lisa's Music Band is some nice gaming here. You can select the music that you have. As you saw, it's already playing that track that I already pre-added there, but you can actually... So you could definitely see that some of these games are geared toward younger audiences, so depending on the age of your child, this is going to work great. Magic Voice Changer, this is also going to work really, really good. And the cool thing is once you record a sample of it, you can start playing it back with the different voices.
Hello everybody and welcome to...
So again, definitely some nice things available for kids to be able to enjoy them. And the launcher does actually work in landscape or in portrait mode. Croc's Adventure, of course, you can go in there and just go in and double check the different things. Again, different activities installed and present in here. And we're going to go back here. I'm not going to go ahead and show you guys all of them. There's a built-in browser that you're able to turn on here and then use, but you can again definitely set exactly what your kids have access to. My art studio, very similar to the other one that we saw. The kids are able to basically draw their own, make their own drawings and add them directly. Last but not least, Lego Life and additional games that I downloaded myself. So if you're not familiar with them, Thumper is basically just a rhythm-based game that plays on basically a track, and you need to basically do certain movements in time. Lego TV will give you access to certain clips and movie clips made specifically by Lego for basically like Ninjago, Lego Movie, Chima, City Creators, Lego Batman, and of course Disney Batman. And of course, the short answer is those are short clips that your kids can watch and enjoy. There is a Samsung Kids Academy or Kids Plus, and that's a service that they offer, and it basically runs at $4.99 a month, and that provides the ability for your kids to do different activities from music, math, Dr. Seuss, Caillou, of course, if your kids are up to that, play games, watch videos, and of course, reading books in libraries, as you can see here. And of course, last but not least, is just some of those favorites. Now, there is a trial. This is Maya the Bee. There is a trial of 30 days when you first sign up for it. So I didn't start it on my device, mostly because I don't necessarily need it, but you can definitely use it. And of course, we have a camera application, and very much that's it. From here, we do have the ability of jumping into parental control. If I click that, you'll notice it's going to ask me for my PIN or my fingerprint. So I have that set up. And as you can see right there, it added that. And of course, it did actually log that actual activity. Since we were in there for some time, it showed it. Omar's creation, it put it in there. So that was what he did since I last gave him access to it. Of course, I can go back home. If I want to go home, clicking home doesn't do anything. I cannot open the notification panel, so they can't get into that. If I click back twice, I can click fingerprint, and then of course that takes me back out. So first and foremost, yeah, the UI is a little bit geared towards younger kids, but the interface and the functionalities come in here are actually very, very useful, specifically for parents. The benefit is that you can actually set the time limit of how long they can actually be in that environment and what they can do as far as accessing the applications. And let's say you are, let's say, a hardcore gamer, you like to play Call of Duty, Fortnite, and PUBG, but you want to make sure that your kid, while they're playing Need for Speed Most Wanted, don't accidentally go into that game because they saw the icon. This is going to be a really good way to do it. What I like about it is that it's built into oneui 2.1, oneui 2.0, as well as I think oneui 1.0, as they did have something similar to this last year with the Samsung S10 line of devices. Although the dialer is a new function, and some of those new additional apps that we saw there with the Samsung Kids Plus, I think they're also new. And keep in mind, that one's about $4.99 a month with a 30-day free trial. Let me know in the comments below, have you guys tried it out? Do you use the Samsung, the Kids Home functionality within the Samsung UI? Personally, I think it's a great little option that's built into our Samsung devices that we probably didn't know. So for me, this is a plus. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.